Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chandie Speaks podcast. It's your girl Chandie. I'm back another week. I'm back. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming. Getting through my intro. Please forgive me on whatever sound quality you may be hearing because this is my first time actually. I don't have any technical difficulties this week, you guys. This is like the first time all month where I'm actually recording from my laptop, my new laptop. I got a new laptop this past week. You guys, it looks really nice. The camera on it is pretty nice. Pretty nice. I didn't know they made cameras this good. I was like living in like the Stone Age with my old ass laptop. I had that other laptop for like over 10 years at least. I vaguely remember being like engaged with that last laptop, and that was over a decade ago. So yeah, it was time for a change. It was time for a new one against, recommendations because of Mercury being in retrograde or what have you, whatever the fuck that means. I was advised not to get a new laptop during this time, but I did it, and I like it, and I like that I can record my podcast again from like in the way that it was intended, from my laptop with my good microphone. How does it sound? So I'm just like right now I'm still trying to figure out like how it sounds. I don't know if there's like if the levels are off. I did a few test runs, but it's kind of late in the day right now, so I'm like, I just got to get through this because this is going up tomorrow. What day is it? Today's Tuesday. So yeah, it's your girl. It's your girl. Don't I sound nice though? I do sound nice. I'm recording this. If I may upload the video version of this episode on YouTube. But I may not, most likely not. But the camera looks great right now. I'm kind of shocked. But I'm recording this right now from my day job at a bed and breakfast, hence the wonderful couch and, indoors, because you guys know I live in my van. So yes, this is me inside. Sitting on a couch in this bed and breakfast so I can just record this. It's like 95 degrees outside. It's crazy. Yo, it's been really crazy here in Sedona. So I'm recording this from Sedona, Arizona. Do I want to get into... I guess that's the big news for the week. Now it sounds like I'm yelling into the mic. Sorry. I can hear it. Let me get some water. I work in a bed and breakfast during the daytime, part-time, as like a housekeeper, and I get to meet cool people. And sometimes when we don't have guests staying in some of our rooms, I get the privilege of, being able to soak up some of this AC because I live in my van full time every other day of the year. And during the day, it's 95 degrees right now. I'm legally not allowed to be in my car with my dog after 75 degrees unless the car's running, unless I have like AC running. You know what I mean? So it's been forcing me to have to be outside, but it's just been too fucking hot to be outside. And if anyone's been watching the news or gives a fuck about the news in this region, I don't know where you're listening from, but man, we have this, we're still having, it's currently physically happening right now. It's like a big pocket fire, I guess that's what it's called. I don't know if that's the name of the type of fire or that's just the name they're giving the fire. But it's been happening for like, at least since Saturday. It's Tuesday right now. Today's Tuesday. Last week of June 23rd. And this has at least been happening since motherfucking Saturday. I think I got off work and someone told me, oh, there's a fire in like the canyons or something, which like I'm a tourist kind of. I'm like not really familiar with the area. I don't know. Just it's about like 7 to 10 miles north of where I am right now. So and I don't see any smoke. You gotta understand, I lived in Colorado for like 12 years, okay? I don't remember the last time they had a 4-day fire just burning and burning. I don't remember. I haven't been there in years, but I don't remember the last time it's gotten that out of hand in Colorado with snow or with fires. But hey, I could be ignorant. I don't watch the news, so I don't really have actually any links for this because I haven't really been paying attention. I'm like in it. It's kind of hard to like follow the news when you're in it. I'm not really in it, but there's this big pocket fire that I don't know. I don't even think anyone knows how it started. It's just like in this bowl of a canyon, and it's so close to Sedona that it seems like they've spent so much time. They've spent more time trying to just contain it in one area versus putting it out at all, because it seems like there hasn't been any progress made. Apparently it's in an area where you can't reach with like cars. It's like in an area where you have to get like flown into. It's like in some weird fucking area, so they have helicopters like dropping water on these fires. It's kind of crazy. I don't think there's been any casualties, anyone's died, but there have been a lot of people who've been like evacuated from their, let's be real, from their hotels and their resorts, because Sedona doesn't really have locals. Sedona and the Verde Valley surrounding neighborhoods don't really have that many locals that live here. A lot of the people who got evacuated, not all of them, but a lot of them were tourists. And you guys know I work also in the hospitality industry as a night auditor in a hotel, so yeah, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. That's the only way I knew. I was like, just a regular ass day, going about my day, going to work. Both of my gigs are fully booked, and the phones are ringing off the hook. People are like, they're being evacuated from these places, these homes, these resorts, these hotels, these cabins, where, you know, cars can't really reach or drive to put the fire out like fire trucks can't, you know? It's kind of wild. So I'm seeing sort of like that aspect of it, like that end of it, where I'm getting people who are, they're already like unfamiliar with the area, and now there's like a natural disaster. I don't know how natural it is. It feels like I want to be a conspiracy theorist and be like, okay, somebody started this fire. But I don't think anyone knows how it started. I think I've heard stories of it being like a controlled burn. But when the fuck does Arizona do controlled burns? Like, it's a desert. I think that was dumb. If whoever approved of a controlled burn, if that were the case, I think that was just dumb. That would be dumb. So the only thing, I also heard that it was a lightning strike. I heard that like it got struck by lightning. And I vaguely remember lightning like maybe a week ago. But yeah, enough to start a wildfire that is lasting over 4 days right now. Like, it's still burning. People can still see the smoke from Cottonwood, which is like 20 miles west. They can see it from Flagstaff, which is like 20 miles north. I ain't seen it. I'm in Sedona, so if I do notice like the air quality, because like I said, I lived in Colorado so long, you can kind of feel it in your eyes and in the air. Like, even if you don't see it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's something burning. There's like there's a natural fire that's burning right now. I mean, yeah, because Colorado, they do have wildfires in the summertime. I don't even know what that even has to do with. I think, I haven't lived there in so long, but I think it's like full-blown illegal to even throw your cigarette out on like on a hot-ass fucking day, because fires have started that way. So, I mean, you shouldn't be doing that anyway, but so yeah, I don't know how many controlled burns Arizona is known for having, and it's getting out of control. My boss said that, like, I think the last big fire was like 10 years ago. I'm sure this is very interesting for you, but it's making big news. It's been happening for days. We got a lot of people out the woodworks who are all of a sudden now they're natives to Sedona. I ain't never heard of a native in Sedona. We just have a lot of visitors. We have admirers, people who love Sedona a lot. I love Sedona, but I'm not from here. I'm not claiming this as my homeland. This stolen land? No, thank you. It's beautiful. Yeah, so there's evacuations going on, there's road closures, there's fucking smoke all in the air. The closer you get, like, I'm sort of like just outside of the like that little border where I could see smoke if I looked for it, but I'm not looking for shit like that. I'm just trying to be safe. And, you know, I'm in van life. I'm so blessed and grateful to be in van life. I don't have to worry about my belongings being burned down or like my loved ones not being able to come with me, because my dog and all my shit, we're already ready to go. I'm gonna just drive down 20 miles south and I'll be cool if they tell me to evacuate. So I do feel bad for, you know, the people who can't take care of themselves or get out to a safe space in the case of a real emergency. I don't really feel bad for the tourists. Welcome to Arizona. I mean, it's not really like this, but hey. So yeah, that was big news. Yeah, so I'm recording this from the B&B right now because it's 95 degrees outside. I'm sure this wildfire has something to do with it, and like people are not outside. I feel like anytime I'm outside in the daytime, I'm like, I feel like stupid. Like no one else is outside. I never see anyone when I go to the parks, when I go anywhere to eat. So it must be like some unspoken rule. Like if you knew better, you would not be outside between certain hours of the day. It's 3 o'clock right now. It's like 3:15. So yeah, after I do this, I'm gonna take a little nap, head up to the gym, go get some food, and enjoy my day off. I got the day off tomorrow. Can I just say that I'm so grateful. I love that I live the life that I have. I'm so grateful to have made the choices that I've made to get me to where I am. Like, I live a very simple life. Very simple. I have a very balanced ecosystem. Like, everything is perfectly balanced. It's harmonious. Like, I'm not concerned with the same things that most people are concerned with, and I'm so blessed and grateful for that. Because this could go a whole nother way if I was landlocked somewhere. Then I'd be really freaking out. Like, where are we gonna live? You know. But hey, I you know, my hippy-dippy conspiracy side wants to say that this was all planned and there's something going on. They have this big, some big prop or something. I'm not a political person, but you know, I observe and I pay attention. I'm driving down the road, and about a month ago, maybe a month and a half, I'm seeing more of these like political signs for mayor, governor. I think it's mayor of Sedona. Sedona's just like a little ass mountain town, but they do need a mayor. According to them, I don't believe in any of that bullshit. According to them, they need a mayor. So all these signs are up. It's about this. It's called Prop something. I forgot what the fuck it's called. Home rule. I should have did my research. I think it's called home rule. I'm literally driving. Like, picture driving, and then you see, like, as you're coming up to the stop sign on your right-hand side, there's just, like, a line of different signs from different political figures, people, and there's one sign that's sitting in front of a sign that's saying the exact opposite. So it's just like, the whole thing is a walking contradiction, and I don't know what's going on, but it's been popping up. About a month and a half ago, I saw signs popping up, and then they got more and more everywhere, and then it's like, vote yes on home rule, and the next sign would say vote no on home rule, and I forget what the fuck it is. Remember, I don't keep in touch with it. This is just coming from your average Joe motherfucker right now in Sedona. But my boss she's well connected in the community. I think from what I remember, from what I understand, it's like giving the state, it's just like giving different people the rights to spend the money in the town. And keep in mind that the town is a tourist town. It's like 99% run on tourism. It's a tourist town. So who controls the money is like a very important conversation, right? And some people say that these people should be in control of it, like the people who, I guess, are here, and then the other people are saying, no, the government should control it. I don't know why that's a conversation. Like, for me, if I voted and I did all that shit, it seems like a no-brainer. You know, we want less government involvement in our funds and our fucking day-to-day shit, but apparently that's a whole big fucking thing. It was a big fucking thing, and I know I have like a little insider information because, like I said, boss is pretty connected in the community, and she knows about what, you know, what people say and what people feel in the community when they go to these like meetings and stuff. And I can't believe it's a debate, like, but I feel like maybe that has, people are like apparently really torn up about who should get control of the money in Sedona. How convenient that this fire is just here, just burning with 0% containment for 4 days. You guys know I had to go hippy-dippy. I had to, you know, that's where my brain went. I'm not freaking out the way you guys are freaking out because I know too much. I'm literally calm as a fucking Buddha, bitch. Like, I know too much to like freak out and like trip about the same shit that most people start tripping about. I could totally just be like, you know, making that shit up or projecting, and I don't think I'm far off. I think it's just pretty convenient. We can probably line up most of America's quote-unquote natural disasters to like big political things. Oh, and the World Cup, I think, did I talk about that last week? A bunch of shit happened this past week. A lot of energy was moving around this past week. And Sedona's a very vortexuous, I know I just made that word up. They have a lot of vortexes. It's a very vortexuous town. Whatever, I'm high. Fuck it. And it's like, yeah, there's a reckoning. There's like, they have a judgment coming on this town, like a spiritual judgment. That's just my beliefs, my hippy-dippy beliefs. But yeah, we have the World Cup. I didn't even realize that was happening. I think that's soccer. Again, a whole nother 𝘲𝗍𝗶. It's hard I can't take any of this shit seriously, you guys, because it's all just too, I'm seeing it, like, I don't like dating myself by saying at my old age, because I really don't feel as old as I know that I am. It's just because my brain knows all of this shit. I've seen all this shit already. It all seems like it's a movie playing out. And the topics, and I sound old every single fucking episode when I talk about shit like this. I don't pay attention to it. Apparently there's this big soccer game. It's viewed by millions of people. It's almost bigger than the Super Bowl. I think I read somewhere that it's actually as big, if not bigger, than the Super Bowl. And I think because it has a lot to do with the fact that soccer is actually fun. Soccer is fun. Legitimately, I like soccer, but I don't like professional sports. Like, I don't like pay to watch games. I don't go and like cheer on a team or anything like that. I'm not in that programming at all. So it's just always weird. Like, everyone knows what day the Super Bowl comes on. Everyone knows what day, like how they know Christmas, you know? I don't know, I just don't put my energy into things like that. I did have a soccer ball incident. I'll do a story time. I put it in my notes saying that I'm going to talk about it. I don't know how interesting this episode is, but speaking of soccer, football, in the past like a week, apparently the football game was, I'm gonna call it football because that's what most of the world calls it. Apparently there's a big football game going on, I don't know, this past week, and I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of memes online about Americans and other countries, and it's all like, you know, a little song and dance show, but nonetheless, it seemed, I think that it makes sense, like there was like an uptick in people who are just walking around playing soccer or sporting soccer gear or like, you know, getting ready to do something soccer related. In this last week, this park that we go to chill, I was like napping in my van. I was sitting in the hammock. It was a beautiful day. I had my door open. No, I don't think I had my door open. I think my door was closed, because if my door was open, they probably would have had less audacity. But I'm parked right outside this big-ass soccer field. It's, like, big. And they're not even playing a game. They're just all in, like, different colored uniforms, and they're all just, like, bouncing the fucking soccer ball back and forth to each other. It's like practice, but it's, like, with, like, 100 people. Like, picture 100 different people. It was all races. They were just all playing fucking soccer in uniform, but not like competitively. And I was sleeping in my van. I was like napping in my van. Someone kicked a fucking soccer ball at my van. It sounded like a fucking gunshot. I had woke up, or I didn't know I was delirious. I didn't know where the hell I was. And that shit brought me back to Chicago, not even gonna lie. I was like, who the fuck? I jumped up immediately, and I screamed like, who the fuck? I'm never one to just cower whenever someone's banging on my car or there's something happening. This is my home, okay? So I jumped up immediately. It sounded like a gunshot. It was so loud. It was as if someone literally like used my van as a goal and like kicked the ball toward the back of my van with all their might, because it was loud and hard. And the field was quite a far away. Like, they had to get it over the fence, unless they left the gate open and they threw it through the gate by accident. But either way, it woke me up. It freaked me out. I opened the door, and I was like, hey, I didn't know what to say. I was like, so I just screamed. I was like, hey, and I saw the soccer ball laying right there on the side of my van. And I got out barefoot, like kind of delirious. My eyes are halfway trying to adjust and shit. And they all were just looking at me. Nobody stopped playing, but there was the people that were like closest to the gate that just sort of was like looking at me but didn't acknowledge me. Nobody owned up to the soccer ball, yo. I picked up the soccer ball. And I was like, really? Really? And like nobody owned it. Nobody claimed that soccer ball. And I don't know what came over me, but something told me, it was like, okay, well, this is your soccer ball now, since no one's claiming it. Because, I don't know, back in my day, maybe it's just how I was raised, but if you go and you fucking kick a ball through someone's window or at someone's house, you go and you apologize, or you go and go get your ball back and acknowledge that it was you that did it and apologize at the very least. Like, they didn't want that soccer ball. They had like 50 fucking balls in there. They didn't care about that soccer ball, apparently. So I took it. I was like, what the fuck? Just off of principality, just off of pride, I think. I probably didn't need to, but I was like, I was like, wow, no one's going to own up. No one's going to be like, hey, sorry, oh, that's my ball or anything. So, yeah, I kept it. That was my soccer ball story. I ended up actually donating that soccer ball to the dispensary. And it was during the week, so everybody was eating that shit right up. During the football week, they were like, yeah, hell yeah, I want a free soccer ball. So that happened. That was my World Cup week. It was just a lot of energy. With this fire happening in the city, it's been, and the fire happening, with the planet, globally, global warming and shit, but like, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it certainly feels hotter than it did this time 20 years ago. So, I don't know. Either the sun's getting hotter or are we moving closer to the fucking sun? Are we like orbiting closer? It's like, what's going on, man? It's been so fucking hot. It's been too hot to think or do anything, so I'm just grateful for the space that I'm able to have inside. I love van life. I love my life. I chose this life, but I'm really grateful for the time when I don't have to do it. Really. Let's just keep it real. Yeah. And I can use running water and electricity and a stove. What the fuck else did we have? We had Father's Day this week. Shout out to all the fathers. Not really, though. I think that was like the biggest news. That really is the biggest news. Everything else was just me mumble jabbering. I got my new computer and I've been just like loving it. Oh, we have the summer solstice. That's right. We have the summer solstice the same day as Father's Day this year, and I love when that happens. R.I.P. to my dad. A real one. The only man I've ever loved. He died in 2016. Like a week before Father's Day. And yeah, it's always nice when Father's Day falls on the summer solstice. For me, at least, from my storyline. What did I do? I think I just fucking had a good cry and just went about my day. Yeah, man. Grief it's been different. But I gotta talk about too much grief. We got a lot of lives. I know I got a homie who just had a kid. It wasn't his first kid, but shout out to all the new fathers out there. And I'm only really kind of acknowledging it mostly because I miss my dad. But also Father's Day kind of gets skipped around a lot. Even if it doesn't get skipped around, I think later, in my later years as a kid, yeah, we didn't really celebrate Father's Day, like as a society. I don't think we didn't blow it up as much. Now I'm seeing more people participate in it, but it still, even then, doesn't get as much as Mother's Day gets. I mean, for very good reason, but just want to make sure I give my flowers out to where they're due. And I remember I had a good cry on Father's Day about my dad, of course, but also just sort of reflecting on this whole year since the last Father's Day, since the last time I cried on Father's Day, since last year. And man, do I want to get into this right now? I mean, it's not even that deep. And it's kind of political, but not really. Since the last Father's Day, Charlie Kirk was assassinated or murdered, or one of them. And this past Father's Day was the first Father's Day where his kids didn't have him there. I would say, yeah, that was one father that was lost that I fucking think about, positively within the last year. And it's just so crazy just to think about because, yeah, I'm always on the kid side. They were just so innocent. I don't know them as personally, but, they're children. I don't really actually know anything about whatever the fuck is going on with Turning Point or with Erica Kirk or even with Candace Owens. I feel like Candace Owens has even been compromised ever since that. That was like the beginning of me ripping apart what I thought I believed and what I thought I knew about everything. I mean, of course, that's my MO, that's my whole life. But yeah, before Charlie Kirk died, and I've said this on my podcast before, I was never really like, fuck Trump from like the bottom pits of my soul. Like, it didn't hit how it did after. I was like, oh, he's actually evil. So all the people who have already seen his evil ways, they're like, yeah, you see it now, right? But let's not get it. I don't hate him the way that you guys hate him. I hate him for my own. I mean, it's all related, but I didn't get to that from the same way you guys got to that conclusion. It didn't happen for me until after I saw, really Erica, the way Erica Kirk was behaving towards Donald Trump after her husband was murdered on TV. I can only imagine what fake ass sucks. She's not even it's not even a good actress. Like, you guys can see it. I don't understand anyone who, I checked out as soon as that shit started popping off, when I started seeing her wearing black leather pants, black mascara, and like looking like a fucking, I don't know, a hooker. Let's just say it. She looked like a fucking hooker during like sentimental moments. Like, aren't you, like, come on. And then the way she's like just fake crying all the fucking time, it all looks like, I'm like, I am not a part of this circus. Charlie Kirk was the last one. He was the last one. And they're killing off all the good ones. They're killing them all off. So no, sorry. And this is me I used to claim myself to be a hardcore Candace Owens fan. But ever since all this stuff, and it's just like, she's a part of the show too. They're all a part of it. They're all a part of it. I know. I haven't gotten that much sleep, so I'm sorry if this is sounding like another episode that I've done already. But yeah, I think Candace may have been compromised. Yeah, it just made me think, like, you can't really be idolizing any of these fucking people. Really, we should start idolizing ourselves more than these people. There are people who literally tune in to watch, like, the fakest fucking shit. If anyone thinks Erica Kirk is not fake, you need to, I should pray for you, because you need to get some kind of mental, like, I don't know, it's clearly fake. It's clearly fake. So, yeah, and it didn't really go into high gear until after all that, and I just feel bad for the kids, really. I just feel bad for the fucking kids. Happy Father's Day. And God rest his soul. I do believe, like, okay, I do believe Candace Owens at one point was authentic. Like, I'm not, of course, up until the point where Charlie Kirk got murdered, assassinated, I totally, whatever, I have my conspiracies about that. But up until that point, to me, Candace could say and do no wrong. She did her homework, she fact-checked, she was respectful. Inspiring almost, you know. And then shortly after Charlie was murdered, I think I bought, like, maybe everything up until she met up with Erica, and then it was just all, like, why am I even talking about it? That's what they want us to do. It's a stupid ass show. Like, really, I feels like the whole thing's been fake from the beginning. The whole thing's been fake from the beginning. I want to believe so bad that Candace Owens is a real one, or even that Charlie Kirk is a real one. But really, it's just what they represent to me. I want the truth to just shine through and just ring through. I want it to just bleed through, whether people like it or not. And that's what I'm here for Charlie, for that, because he represents that. I don't care what anyone has to say about him. Same thing with Candace. I just have to take her in small doses now because, like I said, I feel like she's a part of it now. She has to be a part of it. There's no way that she gets to just tell the truth all the fucking time and no one's saying anything to her. Yeah, freedom of speech in America and stuff, and everyone knows that if they did anything, that they know that she would be murdered. Like, she's not suicidal type shit. So why isn't no one retaliating? How come it's like this back and forth little, it's like a show. I can't even take them seriously anymore. It just, yeah. I know I had a good cry on Sunday over my dad, and then I remember all the dads for this year who became dads, and I remember all the kids who lost their dads, all the dads that lost their dads, you know. Because he was a son, too. So, yeah, they assassinate what he represented, which was the truth. And they put Candace in. Yeah. I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be like, man, they got another one. They, like, not in a good way. Like, Candace is being what Oprah was supposed to be before she started eating babies. So, yeah, I think most people can affirm that Candace Owens does not eat babies. I think she's very, very pro-life. But, so that's better than Oprah. But yeah, it's just a weird situation that's going on ever since Charlie Kirk. Bless his family, bless his kids. Alright, I'm moving on to something else. Moving on to something else. Yeah, the summer solstice. We had the longest day of the year. We are now moving into the darkness. So much fun, you guys. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this transition into this next phase. I got big plans coming. Y'all, I'm about to be booking flights, you know, here pretty soon. Not sure where I'm going to go yet. I had a few controversial topics, talking points this week, but I don't really have the energy or give a fuckness to like really talk about it in depth right now. I don't think I made any posts this week. This may actually just be a nice short podcast episode. I just wanted to be like, hey, I checked in. I got my new computer. I got my new microphone. I'm sounding better. Oh, My Girl. That's what, okay, I'm probably going to end it on this. I'm going to go into this movie and then do the fall off review, and then I'm going to get out of here. Because, okay, I was kicking it with my Vanlife sis, my Vanlife homie the other day, and I don't know what came up, like how we even got on the topic, but My Girl. You guys remember the movie My Girl? Can we talk about My Girl for a little bit? This is like, it's a coming of age movie, okay? This movie was played, I must have played this movie 100 times when I was a kid. I remember it coming on TV a lot, and I remember every time it came on, me and my sister would always watch it, and we would always cry at the end when the little boy died. I'm not spoiling alert because the movie came out in 1990 motherfucking 2. It came out in 1991, 1992, and the movie was taking place, and it hits different. Okay, so I'm watching this movie for the first time since the 90s, okay, since it was popular, since I was a kid, and it's just hitting so different. I remember like the main parts, like, you know, the girl was like a tomboy. I remember like she was just so cool. She was like smart and, you know, asked a lot of questions. She played basketball. She hung out with, you know, hung out with the dudes and stuff. She was like a tomboy. She was so cool. And then I didn't even know the little boy was Macaulay Culkin. That's how young I was when I saw that movie, because, I mean, looking at it now, I'm like, oh my god, that's Macaulay Culkin. But I was like, no, that had to have been some other child actor with blonde hair and round glasses, like that one kid from The Page Master or Home Alone. No, it was the same kid. So I just learned that. Just relearned that. So basically, yeah, as a kid, you don't really notice like all the things. This movie was crazy. I actually wish Sherry was here so we can talk about it together, because the programming in that movie, maybe when she comes on we can rehash it again, but the programming in that movie is insane. And it didn't even hit. Okay, should I give like the basics of the movie in case you've never heard of My Girl? Okay, 1991 movie. This is me totally paraphrasing, worse explanation of the plot completely, but I'm giving you the gist of it. Came out in 1991. It was based in 1972. And this girl is like 10 or 11 years old, I believe. She was born, and out of her birth, her mother died like a few days after she was born, and her father's a mortician. Just painting a picture of this little girl's trauma right there. Boom, you're born, you killed your mom, and your dad's a mortician. Okay? So she's growing up around death. Her life is surrounding death a lot. She's a, what do they call it, a hypochondriac? Is that what it's called? The people who are constantly concerned about their health, right? She's like a 10-year-old girl who's like constantly going to the doctor because she's obsessed with death. She thinks like something's wrong with her. Everyone thinks she's weird. You know, she lives in a fucking morgue, or what is it, a funeral home? She lives in a funeral service place. Dad's a mortician, and there's this one boy who's nice to her, and she's nice to him, and she likes him a lot, and it's Macaulay Culkin, and they just hang out a lot. And the movie's mostly just like the story of them just going through their childhood shit together. But the little programming messages in there is what like I must have missed as a kid. I did not get it. Well, not literally, obviously, just subconsciously. Let me see. So, the sexual revolution was mentioned in that movie. Okay, so the movie was taking place in 1972. You know, even though it came out in the 90s, they were portraying it from the early 70s. And the sexual revolution was mentioned in that movie from the father's brother. By the way, the father was played by Dan Aykroyd. Young Dan Aykroyd actually looks kind of good for his age. But Dan Aykroyd's the father, and he's going on a date with this girl who he hired to do makeup for dead people, right? Who is, oh my god, I'm going off of memory right now, Jamie Lee Curtis. So Jamie Lee Curtis is like a makeup artist, and she's about to go on a date with Dan Aykroyd, who's this little girl's father. But before they go out, his brother comes up into the room and, like, you know, gives him a pep talk about the women of today, talking about the sexual revolution. Y'all, maybe it's just hitting me different, but go back and listen to that. I'm gonna try and paraphrase as best I can. But he was saying, hey, because Dan Aykroyd, the last woman he was with was his wife, who was like 20 years, it was like 20 years ago or something, or he hasn't been on the date in 20 years. I don't know. He said it was a long time. So a lot's changed since he's been on the date. Had a family, had a business, you know. His brother's like, hey, a lot's changed. You don't have to, he's like, thanks to the sexual revolution, you don't have to hold doors for women. You don't have to buy them dinner. You don't have to, you know, be chivalrous at all. Like, just be cool. So basically, yeah, all that. I know, I'm kind of, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but yeah, it was kind of a big deal to hear that in my adult age, because I watched that movie 100 fucking times, and they knew it then. They knew it then in the 90s, and they were portraying it as if it was taking place 30 years in the past. This has all been programmed. It's all been like, a scam, right? Oh my god. I just thought that was wild. It's just like, I love watching old movies. I want to get back into actually watching these movies, because the shit that they would be putting in these movies, they would never put him out in these movies today, because people are sensitive, and then there's rules, and there's political correctness, and then there's fucking all these genders and shit. So like, you can't even say shit in movies anymore how you used to be able to say things. You used to be able to say faggot in a movie, and it wouldn't be that big of a fucking deal. But now you can't even put that word anywhere in any movie. You can hardly put it in like joke and jest, like any kind of joke, because people get all offended, and then political correctness and yada yada yada. So it's always refreshing and kind of interesting, because I'm glad that I'm appalled by it now. I'm glad that I can see that we have made progress. We have come a long way from the movies that we used to put out. Bro, there was a scene in the movie where he was, I think it was the second movie, because we ended up binge watching the first one and the second one. But I think there was a scene in the movie where he was walking the little girl to the plane, and then he left. I'm like looking, I'm like, oh, this is way pre 9/11 shit, because when do you ever get to like walk up to someone's plane, walk someone to their plane? No, not walk someone to their gate. You gotta go through security and shit, you know, now, but it's an unheard of time. It's just so, it's kind of like, it's like an alien time. There was a time where we didn't have to do any of that shit. You could walk someone to their plane. Right to the door. All right, have a safe flight, and then just walk off the runway. I don't know if that's just what they're portraying in movies. I don't think they would portray that in a movie unless they were trying to make it seem like it was what's really happening in real life. So, yeah. So that happens in the movie. Yeah, I like watching old movies for shit like that. So the sexual revolution. Oh my god, I have so much to say about this movie. I really need to rewatch it again for a deep dive, because it's crazy. But the things that stuck out with me the most was okay, so that, and then the how that changed dating. He said the sexual revolution changed dating. That's what he said. Like, he didn't have to open doors anymore. Okay, and then died during childbirth. I don't know why I took the note on that, but yeah, that's what happened. Her mom died during childbirth, and I think that's why I wrote it down, because for some reason, I've always had this weird fear of dying dying while I'm giving birth, and I'm like, where did that fear even come from? And now I'm like remembering this movie and how many times I've watched this movie. Like, yeah, that fear could have very well been just me taking on this girl's movie, and that's why I'm not getting. It's like a subliminal, like, deep subconscious, like, and look, I've never given birth. You know, it's like a deep fucking psychological fucking operation to get little girls to stop producing. And look, women, I mean, not little girls, they count teenagers as women if you can give birth once you have your period. So yeah, childbearing ages, our birth rates are dropping, and I'm not saying, but it probably has something to do with these kind of movies that we had out that they were planting on us. Maybe. Again, I could be looking too much into it, but yeah, it feels like I know that I've always had that fear. I just don't know where it came from. I've even talked to psychics and mediums about it, and I've been told that it's probably a past life experience. But it could very well have just been like a memory that I put away from this movie, because I forgot that this girl was like, in my eyes, she was super cool, but the only thing wrong with her in her life was that her life brought death to her mom. And that's like a different kind of trauma. I don't know why I've always had that fucking fear. So, yeah, I need to do a deep dive on that, like, inward for myself, because, yeah, that shit hit different. RV life. I totally didn't even realize there was an RV. Jamie Lynn Curtis, I think that's her, Jamie Lee Curtis. She has an RV in that movie. Totally spaced that memory out of my mind, but here I am living that life. Not in the RV, but in the van. That movie, if my life was programmed by any movie as a kid, it must have been My Girl. My Girl and maybe like The Fifth Element. I remember watching those movies like too many times as a kid. So yeah, RV life was in that movie. They're trying to make it seem like only dirty old hippies did it. I just love it, yeah. Sang the Pledge of Allegiance after the first kiss. So, I forgot what happened. Okay, so the little girl gets on her period for the first time, which at the time, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. Because she's not acting like obviously how women act when they get on their period. She's a little girl. And at that time, I never knew what it was. I literally didn't know. But in the movie, she was, Jamie's character was like really sweet with her and explained to her, about her woman stuff. And then Macaulay Culkin comes knocking on the door wanting to hang out. And she was like, go away, come back in 5 to 7 business days. Or 5 to 7 days or something like that. Come back in 5 to 7 days. Okay, so yeah, after she had her first menstrual cycle, they go on the walk to this little tree, and they have their first, or they have this conversation about marriage and children and heaven, I think. Pretty deep stuff for some 10 and 11-year-olds. I do think it's kind of weird that we're having little kids kiss on movies, too. I mean, that could have been programming, too. The whole movie was programming. As much as I love that movie, we didn't need to have as many child kissing scenes in that movie. And, yeah, that one at the end was kind of gross. But this one was cute because it was a little peck. And when they did it, they were both quiet, and she was like, say something. And he didn't know what to say. So he stood up, and he did the first thing that came to his mind. The only thing that he knew by heart was a Pledge of Allegiance. After his first kiss, this little boy stood up and started saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm pretty sure she got up and started saying the Pledge of Allegiance, too. So there's some programming right there. So, yeah, that whole movie is so crazy watching it now, man. When I got the plane boarding, saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, those are basically my big ones. We did watch the second one, but I think it hit different because it was mostly like her journey to find out more about her mom. It was fun, but it didn't have the same kind of, I don't know, nostalgia or the pull to it. Because I remember as a kid not fully understanding that movie as a kid, watching it a million times with my sister and crying my eyes out every time. It's probably why my sister is afraid of bees. We can probably route back all of our traumas back to that movie, actually, because my sister is crazy afraid of bees. Yeah, the kid was allergic to bees, and he died from bee stings. He died from bee stings because how did it happen? They were walking in the park. First off, the beehive was just minding its own business. They saw it, and he thought it would be a good idea to fucking not only knock it down, but to crack it open, not thinking it would have bees in it, and there was a lot of bees in it. So they ran away, and she dropped her mood ring. She had a mood ring on her when they ran away. Well, he went back to go get that mood ring, and he could have just left that beehive alone. But you know what he did? He kicked the fucking beehive. Let them know that, hey, yeah, I knocked down your house a couple days ago, I'm back. And kicked their house, looks for the mood ring, and then he sits there, and the bees are like, okay, we coming for you. And they killed him. Like, he died from bee stings. And it's the saddest fucking shit. It's the saddest fucking shit. Really, and the girl, oh my god, how she processes grief. Oh, the movie, it's a good movie, but hella programming in there. I'm probably gonna have to talk to my sister about all of our fears that we have, and just we can probably blame it on that movie. I'm just saying, My Girl, man, that's a throwback. That is a throwback. I really want to find other 90s movies to get back into that I loved as a kid. I'm like, why did I love it so much? Why did you love it so much, really? She had a crush on her adult teacher. This grown-ass man, she had a crush on him. He runs like an adult poetry class that costs like $35, which in the 70s was probably like a whole lot. And she stole $35 so she can get into the class, and all of a sudden she's a writer now. That's, by all means, that's the story, but the messaging behind all that is the part that's getting me. Like, why does this little girl have to steal money and do all this just to get an attention of a grown-ass man who would never... I think my job is fucking calling me right now. Hold on. Of course, it was totally my job and they want me to work, but I'm in do not disturb mode, so there's that. Plus, I already had plans tonight, so. Yeah, that movie is crazy. I think I'm going to be good on this podcast, so let me see if I have any hip-hop news this week. This is the part of the podcast where it's basically over unless you're a J. Cole fan, because it's time for the Fall Off Weekly Review. Just going to give my listening stats for the last week. You know, I'm not going to lie, this last week has been, before I even look at my numbers, I'm just going to predict what I feel like it will be. Because I know it hasn't been many days where I've had the full run through. I mean, I've listened to the Fall Off every day, but sometimes I'll listen to it like shuffled through other J. Cole songs, and then, you know, a lot of times I'll listen to it just all the way through, or just the album itself shuffled up. So I don't know how many Fall Off songs are going to be in my top 5 this week. I know it's definitely going to be J. Cole and Drake, because my playlist that I listen to is like 85-90% J. Cole, 15% Drake, and there's like a lot of Drake songs are with J. Cole. You guys remember they used to make music together? So yeah, I think this week has been just sort of an even mix of J. Cole. I definitely went back to some Forest Hills Drive this week. I know I definitely went back to Off Season this week. Those are still, I mean, they're great albums. All of his albums are great albums, but those are just, I can always listen to those 2 albums. For Your Eyes Only, I can always listen to those albums. But let's see what my stats are this week, and that'll be another podcast. We got, what day is it? It's the 23rd. 23rd, so this will be for Wednesday the 24th. So I'm going to read the stats from the 15th through the 21st. Said I listened to 3,524 minutes. Top artist, of course, is J. Cole. Number 1. Number 2 is Drake. Then it's literally been the same top 5 for like 4 weeks in a row now. J. Cole, Drake, Future, Dreamville, and Thames. They're all from the Fall Off, except Drake, of course. Safety. Can we talk about safety for a little bit? Oh my god. I just saw a preview of what my top song is. Oh my god. It's definitely going to be Safety this week. I think I had a little pocket where I got into my safety bag. It was so random, really. Okay, because you guys know, well, if you've been following my J. Cole journey this whole time, Safety was not my favorite at first, and it's becoming one of those songs, like, it made me cry. It's one of those songs that if I need to have a good cry, I put it on. That song, and it was, oh my god. I mean, I guess if you're a J. Cole fan, you already know what Safety's about, but if you're not a J. Cole fan, Safety, I'm just gonna, of course, paraphrase it. It's about, from what I understand, like a very close friend of J. Cole who is from his hometown back in Fayetteville or North Carolina, somewhere out there, and he's like either calling him or writing him. I think he's calling him, and he's like leaving voicemails. I saw someone made a meme saying, like, you know, it's kind of bogus or something, or lame that your friend leaves you voicemails, and instead of calling them back, you make a song about it. And I thought that was funny because J. Cole is notoriously, he's known for just not returning phone calls. So the fact that he made a song about a call that he never got back to, multiple calls that he never got back to. Yeah, every verse is like a different phone call. So the first verse is about him catching up, like, yo, Jermaine, what's the word? And then, like, you know, he's talking about all of his friends that have passed away, family members that are passing away, people that, you know, girls that still look good, you know, just catching him up. Yeah, it's a pretty deep song. I don't know why it still kind of doesn't resonate with me, but it does. It doesn't. It resonates with me in a way like, okay, someone's calling on me and checking on me, and he's like, I feel no way when you don't respond. I know your heart and I know our bond. Like, you can have so much time that goes by without talking to that person, and they still pick up like it's all love, and they're just trying to keep you in, you know, send love and just keep you in the circle and what's going on. It's just been hitting me, man. The second verse, I believe, is sort of similar. He's talking about the guy who, allegedly, I believe he's talking about the guy who J. Cole is rapping about on Poor Thing. A little bit in that verse, and other family members and friends who have passed away or got shot, murdered. And then the third verse was a controversial topic. Apparently, I didn't know because I didn't follow the hype or the buzz of Safety because I didn't fuck with Safety at first. But apparently, people didn't like his choice of lyrics when he's talking about his gay friend. Literally, he almost said the fag word. He almost said the F word about when he's talking about his gay friend, and people did not like that. People did not like that, and they didn't like his other, like, old head fucking terms for gay people that he used in the song. So I'm like, okay, we'll get the fuck over it. I love the song. I love the beat, the boom bapness of the song always. But the content, like the music, the words, they didn't actually hit me until I don't know, I just took myself to where he was. And yeah, every single fucking time. Even if just the beat comes on, like, I can just, man, it's a good song. So that's my top song this week. I think it's probably, man, it's not better than Bombs in the Ville, but God, it's a really good song. Bombs in the Ville makes me cry like 80% of the time, like almost every time I listen to Bombs in the Ville, almost. But I think I cry a little bit more to Safety. I don't know. Especially when he's talking about his friend that passed away from AIDS. His friend was gay, and he passed away from AIDS, and before he passed away, like, he had gotten, like, abandoned by his community, his friends, and family because he was gay, and they felt bad that, you know, they don't have that time with him anymore because he's dead, you know. I wish I could apologize because we did him wrong. And that part always just gets me, man. It does move me. But let me do my top songs. Top songs, number 5. Top 5 songs this week. Number 1 was Safety with 38 plays. I played that song 38. You know, it's definitely not 355 plays in 7 days like Bombs in the Ville, but that's still a lot for Safety, for considering how I felt about Safety in the beginning. We got all bangers from the Fallout. See, I was doubting myself. They're all from the Fall Off, okay? Top 5 are all from the Fall Off. Y'all already know what it is. Number 1 is Safety with 38 plays. Number 2 was 39 Intro with 25 plays. Number 3 was The Let Out with 18 plays. So it looks like I listened to the whole Fall Off only 18 times this week, and I went in extra to listen to 39 Intro and Safety, because number 4 is Lonely at the Top with 18 plays, and number 5 was Poor Thing with 17 plays. So yeah, that was it. Thank you guys for listening. I'm glad I'm back on this good microphone. I'm gonna get on out of here. I gotta take a shower, gotta go get me some food and a good ass nap, and I'll see you guys next week.